Welcome to the NRL previews for round 2 of the 2024 season. I'm Renee Gardner and I'm joined by Josh Mansell to unpack all the games this week. We wrap up the round on Sunday night with the Dolphins and Dragons at KO Stadium. A vast difference to how the Dolphins started in 2023.
Yes.
Bennett has had his hand forced with quite a few injuries to that Queensland fold. They're going to need a little bit more than a vocal crowd to get up here. And a lot of, again, fresh faces, and it's only round 2.
Yeah, well, they don't got that hype they had last year, so they're going to have to deal with that. But they do have new recruits in Thomas Flegler and Herbie Farnworth. But again, got to take time for those guys to adjust to new systems and whatnot, and new teammates. So the injuries aren't going to help. Constantly, if you're getting injuries left, right, and centre, it's going to reduce that level of chemistry and cohesion amongst each other. So again, it is hard. I hate to be a coach in that position, but it is what it is. And I feel like Wayne's last year, I feel like the boys need to have a big one, particularly this game.
I spoke to them just after the pre-season. They were all speaking. Tommy Gilbert, a player who's been injured now and out for the season, spoke about the enthusiasm, the excitement coming into this year. How hard is it as a player to contain that and not fall off that edge? Like the Dolphins, they haven't fallen off the edge, but in terms of first round, we're going to come out firing to how they perform.
It's almost false hope. Well, every team in the NRL obviously gears up for a big year, right? But again, the hype that the Dolphins had last year is not going to be matched this year, unfortunately. So where they're going to find that added motivation, time will tell. But for me, they need to go out there and they need to start winning football games. They do have a very experienced side, so there's no excuses there. I feel like their side's got a good mix of youth and experience, but the injuries aren't going to help. With Tommy Gilbert gone as well, he's a Queensland international. Again, it's going to be a big loss for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, huge loss as well. All right, well, let's head over to the Dragons and some promising signs for the new coach, Shane Flanagan. They look stronger across both their defence and attack. We put Zach Lomax on the wing. I know there was a bit of talk about that leading into the game, but he went there, he performed. There was no dropped bottom lip. He went and did his job.
Yeah, and he's done it really well. Yeah, it is a big change going from centre to wing. It almost feels like a demotion for a centre. If I was a winger going to the centres, I feel like it's more of a promotion, if that makes sense. But in my eyes, I feel like he did a great job. You know, he's an aerial threat. He was strong with the ball, got involved, and he's a good finisher. So why not put him on the wing? And I feel like Shane Flanagan has made the right choice there. And there have been reports that he hasn't been happy, but for me personally, I feel like he had a great game. I feel like the boys need to get around him, keep pumping his tyres up as much as they can, and hopefully he can keep moulding into his new position. Were
you impressed with the Dragons that you saw in that first hit out?
Very impressed. I feel like they'll be hard done by, particularly everyone tipping the Titans last week. I feel like the Dragons have a point to prove this year, particularly with Shane Flanagan back as a head coach. And with the Dragons, again, they've got good leadership across the park. Benny Hunt, he has, put all his eggs in one basket. He wants to take this team and make it a successful side and a club. And you've got Tyrell Sloan coming in now, coming back into the fold. And there were a few question marks with him, is he still inexperienced? Is he going to be a game changer? Like everyone predicted he will be. And I feel like he had an outstanding game last week.
Okay, so where's this 1-1?
Yeah, it's a big game. Again, Dolphins playing at home. I feel like they're lacking a bit of confidence, I'm going to be totally honest, and I feel like all the momentum is just right on the back of the Dragons, so I'm going to go with the Dragons.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you for joining me again for another week. We're back. Unmissable matchups taking place all weekend, so if you do want to get to any of the matches live, head to nrl.com/tickets. If you can't get to the game, though, you can watch it on Foxtel, Sky New Zealand or KO. Kickoff is at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time.